couple minutes early. Because I don't see any more stragglers outside. But I'm Christina. I go by Lucky Sevens Craftworks on Facebook.
And I'm Rachel, and my cosplay handle is Eunice Lenning.
And we're really excited to have you guys at our body image panel. I want to just kind of informally thank MomoCon for letting us come back this year. Last year we did a health and wellness panel, and we're giving the same panel tomorrow, and we would love it if you guys enjoy this panel and you want a little more. Please come to our wellness panel. It's tomorrow at 2:30 in the same room. And and so this is a little bit of a controversial topic. We're going to try to stay PC. This is an open table panel, so if anybody wants to give us any comments, testimonies, anything like that, please feel free. Raise your hand.
Raise your hand, and if you have a lot of questions for us, we'll definitely take questions at the end as well.
And we have some door prizes up here, so if anybody is brave enough to raise their hand and contribute, we would love for you to take a door prize with you. It's got some little cosplay emergency items in it. I think it's got like sewing kit, anti-back, hand stuff, gum, all your essentials that you might have left at home. And then towards the end of the presentation, we're going to ask for a volunteer. And if you volunteer for us, you will definitely take a door prize. So please volunteer and participate. We want everybody's feedback.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Oh, kind of hard to read that. Okay, so this is just basically, this is our opinion, and none of this is, fact. You don't have to take our advice. Both of us have many years of making, wearing costumes, variety of sizes as well. So we both have the experience with construction, dealing with groups, dealing with social aspects, online and offline at cons of being larger sized.
But we also, on the other hand, want you guys to know that this is a non-biased panel. We're not going to be biased towards any one demographic in terms of body type. We realize that all cosplayers, regardless of whether you're thin, overweight, purple, yellow, we recognize that all of us at some point have dealt with a body image issue. So we want everybody to know that you are welcome here regardless of what you look like. And this is an open panel, open-minded panel, so just kind of keep that in mind. Sorry about the delay on our slide transition.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about origins, the character design origins and reference sources, and just kind of talk about how characters are designed the way they are, particularly in gravity-defying or unrealistic proportions. So a lot of reference sources come, from Japan, anime, cartoon, video game characters, and just are done really unrealistically, and they're usually aimed at a young male audience. So they're usually trying to appeal in some sort of sexual way to young men.
I'd like to add to that, though, that I think we're starting to get out of that patriarchal demographic now. That a lot of I like to cosplay a lot from video games. That's my primary source for most of my cosplays, and I think a lot of video game development teams are now starting to try to include more female employees. The best example I can think of that is BioWare. If anybody is a BioWare fan in here, they have a lot of female developers on their team, and they also try to cater their games to a really wide audience, which is awesome, especially the LGBT community, which is great. But they also kind of deviate away a little bit from stereotypes, I think, or they're starting to more. Go ahead.
So the stereotypes are up there. So we usually see, especially female characters in anime, are usually very young, very lean and slim figures, or very exaggerated busts and hips with, no rib cage, very, defined waist, which is really hard to do without, some help. So you shouldn't really feel too bad if, if your body doesn't look like a slim schoolgirl or, Jessica Rabbit, for example.
Yeah. So we're going to show you some examples of physics-defying body types. We can get our slides in transition.
Just slow. There it goes. Okay, so on the left we have the girls of Madoka Magica, and save for Nami, who is pretty busty, the rest of them are pretty much built very rectangular ruler body types. Madoka herself is built very, very up and down. So, unless you really haven't gone through puberty yet, there's a very small number of people who actually have that body type.
Yeah. And then on the right, we have the sorceress from Dragon's Crown.
One of our friends did this character for a costume.
Yeah, and she did an awesome job. She did really great with improvising on how to defy these very odd anatomical abnormalities.
But yeah, she has like the really shapely hips, the boobs that are pretty much supported by just an underbust corset and are just perfectly kind of molded there.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get the next slide. There we go.
Everybody's favorite, Sailor Moon. Yeah, we felt like this was a really great example of odd body morphing. I'm not ragging on Sailor Moon.
Yeah, we love Sailor Moon.
But they have incredibly anatomically impossible long legs, androgynous figures with very long torsos, just really kind of exaggerated. I think a lot of I have some friends who have tried to do this senshi and have struggled a lot with how can I make myself look like I have 6 feet long legs. It's just not possible sometimes. Gotta be realistic. Yeah. Photoshop. Yeah. I'm sorry about the delay, you guys. Okay.
Okay, so we really wanted to talk about cosplay community as it is now, and the question is there really a community left in cosplay? And for a while, cosplay communities were mostly on message boards and forums. So if you were part of cosplay.com before Facebook really took off, a lot of cosplay gatherings, meetups, sharing tips and tricks happened there. To an extent, some was kept on 4chan as well, but it really didn't go too much social media just because it just wasn't around then.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious. This is going to be kind of off topic for just a second. Well, not really off topic, but I'm just curious to know how many of you in this room, so I have an idea of the age demographic, were participants on cosplay.com. Or remember it. Okay.
As it I think as it was 5 or 6 years ago at least.
Does everybody know what cosplay.com is?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Cosplay.com, we should just probably talk about this a little bit. Cosplay.com, I think came out in 2003, and it was really the first big place on the internet for English-speaking cosplayers to kind of come together, talk about crafting tips, character suggestions, and especially arranging meetups for cons. So what you will usually see now, Facebook groups of trying to arrange meetups or Reddit, was usually happening a lot on Cosplay.com, and usually stayed there.
Yeah. I think hand in hand with this has created an environment online of anonymous posting and there not being any repercussions for speaking your mind online, and this has kind of opened the hell gate. There would be a lot of criticism about body types and cosplayer aesthetics. And my personal opinion on this, and Rachel and I had a pretty in-depth discussion about this while we were planning this panel, is that social media has really kind of crippled the cosplay community, and it's also been a good thing. It's allowed us to network, meet more people, but I think it's also created a very a food chain, I guess, so to speak, of the more aesthetically pleasing you are, the more superior you are in the cosplay community, and who cares about your craftsmanship. And I think Rachel and I, both being older cosplayers, feel like craftsmanship is the highest priority in your costuming. A lot of us still do this for a hobby. We're not necessarily trying to compete with each other. We have day jobs, we have families, we have other things that take precedence over cosplay. We have a lot. So
we really do it because we love the source material, we love crafting the costume, we love wearing the costume. I mean, when we go out and put our costumes on, no matter what costume it is, it's really not to fight for how many Facebook likes we get, how many different news sources can share our pictures. It really isn't about that for us, and I think that's what's kept it enjoyable for us over the years of doing this hobby.
Yeah. So I guess the take-home message is just keep in mind that this is fun. You should be doing this for yourself and to bring yourself a lot of self-fulfillment and joy. And you got to remember that the trolls, and we're not going to name name calling.
Yeah, we're not naming that here.
But the anonymous internet audience does not know the real you.
Yeah, and
really do. And they're judging you based on unrealistic references and unrealistic beauty standards that have been really molded by our media.
And that's really happened a lot in recent years with especially like when G4 was covering San Diego Comic-Con, a lot of people were exposed to cosplay through that. MTV years ago did like Room Raiders episodes with cosplayers on it. And then, of course, Heroes of Cosplay, even more fans became exposed to the hobby. So there's a lot more people who aren't